What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop once again. Today we have a transmission quick tip for you that I know is going to help a lot of you out there not get taken by these trans shops that are kind of guessing, don't know what's going on, or are trying to upsell you more expensive repairs. Now, this valve body is down on this 4R70, 4R75E transmission for a totally separate issue. It's a fourth gear issue that I'm having. But anytime I pull the valve body down for other repairs on this vehicle, I always pull the valve body separator plate. Okay, we're going to pull this off of here, and we're going to take a peek inside. Now, the problem that's common on these valve bodies is not really the valve sticking too much. It's more so the check balls. Now, all valve bodies that I know of have check balls in them. That way they can stop or allow fluid through these circuits depending on which way the fluid is flowing, okay? They're very important. They make sure the fluid doesn't flow into the wrong circuits when it shouldn't be there, okay? What they started using with these is rubber check balls. Instead of steel, like you've seen for many years, no problem, never heard of them having a problem, never replaced one, right? Well, they use rubber in these for whatever reason. So these ones, as they're shuttling around in there, they're getting beat up by the aluminum casting on here, and it's actually making the ball smaller, or it's splitting in half. Either way, it's not controlling the flow through the circuit, or stopping or allowing like it should, and we're going to get some bleed off. Now, what's common with this one, the most common, is a perceived low power after you get into second gear. So you're in first gear, everything's just fine. You go to second gear, it shifts just fine, but it seems like the truck really is just bogging down, low power. And you go through the gears and you're just fine once you get to higher speeds. The other thing you may notice is that you're going through shifts fast from a stop. So it'll go shift, 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 instead of shift, 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 like that, okay? The other thing you may notice is that you're coming down to a stop sign and the vehicle gets really low idle, almost wants to stall out, or does stall out. Now, the other thing that's common on these vehicles is for the VCT solenoids and the F-150s anyways, in the Expeditions, the VCT solenoids in the engine to stick and cause that issue. So I have a couple of videos on that and how to determine if that's the issue. But once you figure out that's not the issue, you want to look at the valve body. Now, the one area this valve body you want to look at once it's down is the number 7 check ball. What this check ball does is separates the second, third, fourth, I believe low circuits, pressure feed, from the torque converter clutch apply circuit, okay? Now, once that check ball gets too small, gets beat up, it's not round anymore, it splits in half, you're gonna be some bleed off. So what happens is once the second gear feed comes on, it starts bleeding off to the torque converter, and then your torque converter comes on, so you get the low power concern, and then you also feel like another shift happened, perceived quick shifting, okay? Then again, when you come down to a stop sign, what happens when the torque converter's on? It's like leaving the clutch on a manual transmission. You're gonna stall the engine, or almost stall it, okay? Depending how much bleed off is happening here. So those are the symptoms that you're gonna get when this number 7 check ball has failed. Now, this vehicle didn't have any known issues with that. I'm going after a fourth gear issue. I'm fixing that. But I figured whenever I'm in here for the customer, I'm checking these check balls and probably replacing them, okay? So look at this one right here real quick. This is number 7 check ball that was in here. It's not split in half. Looks like a little BB for a BB gun, okay? But let's compare it to a regular check ball that's not tore up. You see a size difference there? Oh, there it goes. These things are hard to get in my hand. There we go. You see a size difference there? It's much smaller. So therefore, there's gonna be some bleed off in this circuit to the torque converter clutch once you get into second gear, third, fourth, and then low, okay? And that's gonna cause some issues with performance of the engine. So, I just wanted to go over that in a separate video. There will be a whole video on how to fix a loss of fourth gear issue on this transmission. Also, it's a totally separate issue where I'll show how to pull the valve body down and put it back up and torque it and all that stuff. So you can use that for a reference for pulling the valve body. But once you're inside of here, you just pull the ball out and you just change them out. Now, here's the other funny thing about this. So Ford knows that there's 8 check balls in here. They're all the same size. And I think this is the only transmission that uses those rubber check balls. You go buy a pack of them. Great, it's like $5. Great, cheap fix. Some fluid, a filter, and some balls. Okay, look at that. Pack quantity of 7. So they're gonna make you buy 2 packs of these. Most dealers won't open these up. They're gonna make you buy 2 packs of these just to fix this, to get the 8th ball. Yeah, well. Now once you're in there and you're doing all this, I recommend to replace these separator plate gaskets. These new ones nowadays are a little sticky to the plate there, but they generally come right off without breaking off on there. You want to change them out, make them all new, make sure everything's all sealed up going back together. New check balls, everything torqued back down together. Fluid and filter, your trans will be back like new. So that's it. I just want to get the information out there on common issues with this transmission, because I know it's going to help a lot of you out there not, get taken by these trans shops that are either guessing or they're just trying to upsell you more expensive work, because who knows how a transmission works? Well, not a lot of people do. I'm trying to help you guys out, fix your Ford yourself. See you next time, guys.